Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great start to your day, and you've had your vitamin C, and hopefully around your area there's vitamin D, the sun, Viderma. Good morning, Donna. And we'll wait for a few. Carla, how are you? Nativity, good morning. And Carrie, Nebraska. Nick from our staff. Annette, Nouveau Brunswick, right? Beth, South Carolina. Andrea, Niagara Falls. Suzanne. Madeleine, good morning. Wendy, good morning. Markham, Jocelyn. And Yolande, good morning to you. Zian, bonjour. Natalie and Anne, good morning to you. Thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it. Lorraine, British Columbia. You need your coffee. It's bright and early. Diane, Helena, Jackie, and Mary, and Ashley, Jeanette from our staff, and Micheline, bonjour, Sturgeon Falls, and Kadijatu. That's a hard name to say. Well, good morning. Francis, Beverly, Richmond Hill, Shirley, Bernice, Mike from Norland, Donna, Bell Valley, another Jeanette, bonjour. Wendy, another Wendy. Alliston, Gloria, Elaine, good morning. Rhonda, every time I see that name, Rhonda, I want to sing. Diane, another Diane. Diney, good morning. Woodstock, Mary, Deb from Detroit, good morning. Fran from Orangeville, good morning. Terry, Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Hatley, Quebec, Jerry, good morning to you. Kevin, Oshawa. And Brenda, Campbell River, British Columbia. Faye, good morning to you. Rita, good morning. Another Brenda, Luella, West Tennessee, good morning. Bruno and Rosa. Okay, two more and I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Sherry, oh, I want to sing. Diane, Newfoundland. Carol. There's my buddy, Dr. Johnny Club. How are ya? Good to have you on, Johnny. Natalie, Inga, Rita, Dave, good morning to you. Okay, so guys, we are giving you 10 reasons. There are more than 10. I made that up before I finished writing about all the reasons you should be eating vitamin S, steak. Okay? Now, we talked about the 4 C's yesterday, amino acids. We actually talked about 5, but 4 of them were C's. Creatine. Okay? Creatine. We talked about choline in your brain. We talked about carnitine and carnosine. And we finished off with taurine yesterday. So, if you didn't see that yesterday, I don't want to spend too much time reviewing. So wait till the podcast come out on the Doctor Is In podcast and you can listen to that again. Okay, so that was part 1. Steak wins by a knockout. Okay, it wins by a knockout. Dr. Club and I went to see a championship fight in Toronto in our school days. You remember that, Johnny? And we love boxing. But steak wins by a knockout. By a knockout. Now let me get over to a few more reasons. We're going to talk about, okay, so we talked about amino acids yesterday. We started with that. And now we're going to talk about minerals. We're going to talk about minerals. And then we're going to talk about vitamins. And then we're going to talk about omega-3. So that's what I want to do in part 2 of why steak wins by a knockout. Okay? You put any other food. Now remember what I said yesterday about liver. I can't put it on top. I'm sorry. I don't like it. But you got to love what it does for you. Okay? So really, liver's there and steak is there, but for all intents and purposes, steak is number 1. Because that's so good for you. Okay? Now, okay? So let's talk about minerals. A lot of people have this idea, well, if you eat meat, there's no minerals in it. Well, that's not true. There's lots of minerals in steak. Okay? Including magnesium. Including potassium. Very important minerals, by the way. You need those things in your diet. Absolutely. You know, like magnesium does about 600 things in your body. Do you need it? Absolutely. And most people are deficient in it. They don't get enough magnesium in their diet. One of them that is almost like a Rodney Dangerfield that people don't talk about very much is potassium. Doesn't get a lot of respect compared to magnesium, but you need potassium. It's a very important electrolyte. It's a very important mineral for your body. It's found in steak. Magnesium is found in steak. It is. And you know, zinc. Zinc became famous through COVID. People talked about zinc and how important it is for your immune system. Did I disagree with that? No. But when you hear me talking about zinc, you'll hear me telling you that if you eat vitamin S, you're going to get your zinc. Okay? You're going to get it. That's an all-important mineral. Boron. Steak. And iron. And this is really important. This is, I don't know if this is not the most important of all your minerals is iron. Now, it's true in this day and age, a lot of people suffer from a condition we call hemochromatosis. And what is that? Well, medicine likes to couch it in a big word, but here's what it means: too much iron. And that can happen. But if it happens, there's a reason for it. Why do we see so much high levels of iron? Hemochromatosis was very simple. We never used to see it, hardly. Well, people are carboholics. And when you're a carboholic, you're filling up your liver. And when you fill up your liver, the Costco parking lot, and it gets full of fat, guess what? Now you're going to accumulate iron. It's very important to understand that. I mean, there could be another reason, but that's the main reason. But here's what's really important about iron. You need heme iron. H-E-M-E. Okay? Heme, I don't know how to pronounce it. He says heme and I say, okay, but it doesn't matter. It's spelled H-E-M-E. Why is that significant? Think about this for a minute. Because it comes from the word hemoglobin. Okay? What's hemoglobin? Every time you breathe, your red blood cells go through your lungs. Every go like this. Okay, what's happening? You're breathing. What's happening inside your body that you don't even think about? Your red blood cells are going by your lungs, and in the middle of your red blood cell, you have a hormone, a protein really, called hemoglobin. What does that do? Well, it's like Velcro. It attaches itself, or oxygen attaches to the middle of your red blood cell, and red blood cells carry your oxygen from your brain to your toes. You can't live without it. Cut yourself, and you better stop that bleeding. Well, your body will do it for you by clotting. But if you got a big wound and your body can't keep up with that, you're going to die. Why? Well, you're going to run out of blood. Well, what's significant about that? You're going to run out of oxygen. You know, the Bible's got it right. The life of the flesh is in the blood. You don't take blood out. You put blood in. Transfusions have saved millions of lives. And the reason is because they're putting blood back in. But listen, if your blood isn't full of heme, you see, the iron that helps you to produce red blood cells, it's not just any iron, it's heme iron. And guess where it's found? It's found in the animal kingdom. It's found in red meat. It's found in steak. That's why I always tell young ladies, they've got endometriosis. They got very bad periods. I said, well, you're anemic. No. And I want you to start eating vitamin S because you're anemic. You have iron deficiency anemia. And usually, this is just my experience, is that you have two forms of anemia, and they go together. And we'll get to the second one in a minute. But you have two forms of anemia. One of them is iron deficiency anemia. I tell you, it was like an epidemic when I was in practice. I used to look at them, observe. I'm looking at you in private practice. I said, man, you look like Casper the Ghost. They'd look at me like, what? I said, well, you're anemic. I just took your blood. You're anemic. Why did my doctor tell me that? I said, I don't know why they didn't tell you that. Maybe your numbers weren't low enough for it. But I'm telling you, you're anemic. You're not carrying enough oxygen. You need heme. Heme. H-E-M-E, iron. Popeye didn't get strong eating spinach. I'm sorry, he didn't. He lied. You need heme iron. And that's really important. A lot of people are walking around and they're anemic. They don't even know it because their blood work, it's sort of low, but it's not low enough for physicians because they're married to labs. They're married to them. Their whole practice is based on laboratory results rather than observation, questions. I'm not saying labs are insignificant. I'm not. I'm just saying that labs, they're part of the diagnosis for sure, but they're not everything. I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest problems in the health world today. People are overfed and undernourished. It is a huge issue. eating way too much crap, living on carbohydrates, and they don't get enough heme iron. It's one of the minerals your body absolutely needs. And so, you know, and here's another issue that I saw almost daily in my practice. Low levels of iodine. You know, they didn't get their people today. Another major issue is, you know, and you guys know this, I talk about this all the time, is the thyroid gland. You know, that little puppet that resides right, you know, in the lower quadrant of your throat. You have a butterfly organ there. It's a really important organ. It's a puppet. It's got a lot of strings attached to it. But it don't work without iodine. Now I'm going to tell you something. There's very little iodine left in the soil. And because people avoid the animal kingdom, they get low on iodine. And your thyroid can't work without it. And that's why we see so much. It's one of the reasons we see, now, your iodine needs more than, your thyroid needs more than iodine. You know, it needs selenium, okay? Needs magnesium to work properly. It does. It needs a B complex, vitamins. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm not on vitamins, I'm on minerals, okay? You know me, I can head off into rabbit trails very quickly, and I have to drag myself back. But you know what I'm saying, guys? That's why vitamin S is such a perfect mode. It's got all of that. It does. And the problem, I'm just going to say this, I don't want to offend people, but I'm just going to tell you this. The problem with relying on plants to get your minerals is plants have three protective things that they have. Okay? In the plant kingdom, and I'm not telling you not to eat plants, okay? So don't say Dr. Martin doesn't like plants. I eat fruits and vegetables. That's not true. All I'm saying is don't survive on it. You will not do well. Now, here's why. I'm going to tell you on the plant kingdom. When it comes to minerals, plants have three things. Now, if you haven't read my book, The Reset, you should read it because I talk about this. They have three things that chelate minerals out. Okay? You know what the word chelation means? Chelate. It means to take out. Okay? I used to use the word all the time when I talked about heavy metals. You got, you know, because I used to test patients in the office for mercury, lead, cadmium. Okay? Too much? I would show up in the urine. In a urine test. And I said, well, now I'm gonna have to chelate that out of your body. Okay? Chelate means take it out. And there's three things in plants, so you got to understand this. Okay? And again, don't misquote me. I'm just telling you, if you survive on that, in my opinion, you're making a big mistake. Because the bioavailability of minerals, okay? It's a big word, but what does it mean? Your absorption of minerals. I talked to you yesterday about the bioavailability of amino acids. The bioavailability of protein is superior in the animal kingdom. It's not even a contest when it comes to what your body absorbs. Now listen, if plants, the problem with them is they have 3 chelators, 3 of them in the plant kingdom. 1, oxalates. Okay, you want to write this down? Write it down. The other one is called phytic, P-H-Y-T-I-C, phytic acid. It's a chelator. It takes minerals out. 3, I know this is going to drive you crazy. Fiber. Plants and fruits and veggies give you fiber. Yeah. But the problem with fiber, like you heard it here first on this program. Fiber is overrated because it's a chelator of your minerals. Now, I'm not saying no fiber is no good. I'm not saying that. You know me. I've been very clear, very consistent teaching. Because the cereal companies will have you believe, oh, your gut cannot survive without our cereals. You need fiber. Oats are for horses, not you. Okay. So when you talk, that's why steak, vitamin S, wins by a knockout. Wins by a knockout. You're going to get your minerals, plus they're going to be absorbed. There's no chelators to take them out. Oxalates, phytic acid, and fiber. Okay? I know, tough sledding. I get pushback every day on this. I know, and I'll get it again. That's all right. I can take it. I can take it. I want you to think. I'm giving you information. You decide. You decide. I know there's a lot of pushback on there. Okay, let's talk vitamins. Okay? Because we talked minerals. We've talked amino acids. Number 3, I want to talk to you about vitamins. Now, I'm going to tell you something. One of the key vitamins, and you guys probably are already ahead of me on this. I know Dr. Martin's going to talk about vitamin B12. You bet your boots I am. It's another reason. Heme iron when it comes to minerals. And B12. B12. There's not enough B12 in plants for mice to survive on. If you are a vegetarian or you are a vegan, please, for heaven's sakes, you need to supplement with B12. The best B12 is sublingual on a daily basis, and that's been proven. Now, if you get a B12 shot, well, good for you. I'm not against that. But the best is a supplement, okay? This is for my vegan and vegetarian friends. You need B12. Your brain will not work properly without B12. It's essential vitamin. People are so low, like, oh, doc, my B12 is normal. Woo! That B12 test, first of all, is 100 years old. 100. And the normal is what? 2 something? You should be at 800 to 1200 for B12. Your nitric oxide can't be high without B12. You know what nitric oxide is? It opens up your blood vessels. It's a substance that opens up your blood vessels. When Dr. Clubb and I were in school together, we didn't even know there was such a thing as nitric oxide. The person that discovered it won a Nobel Prize in medicine in the 1980s. They found out why nitroglycerin worked for angina. Oh, you have that in your body. It's called nitric oxide. You can't have good levels of nitric oxide to open up your blood vessels, to make your blood vessels relax, to increase your blood flow, not only to every area of your body, but especially to your brain. You can't have it without B12. You need B12. I could, and I have. I've spent whole podcasts on B12. And people don't think of it because they don't drop dead right away. But that's an essential vitamin. And all your B complex, by the way. People take a B complex. They always ask me about that. Well, I said, look, B12, yes. The other B vitamins, eat vitamin S. What? Yeah, it's in steak. All of them. What? Yeah, that's why it wins by a knockout. You need B12. You need B vitamins. And you're meant to eat that stuff. And B12 is found in red meat. I'm sorry, it's just not anywhere else. It's not in the plant kingdom. Vitamin A. You know me. The invisible mask. People are so low on vitamin A today. And you know what? You know where medicine has really, really made big boo-boos? Is when they downplay vitamins. Oh, they don't need vitamins. Just eat, They don't tell you what to eat, just eat. You're going to get your vitamins. That ain't true, guys. It ain't true. Vitamin A is essential, not only for your vision. That's what people always thought. Vitamin A, well, I get my carrots, beta-carotene. That's for my eyeballs, Yeah, well, it is good for your eyes, there's no doubt. But vitamin A is not in the plant kingdom. Beta-carotene is, but that's a precursor to vitamin A. Vitamin A is retinol. And retinol is found in vitamin S. See my eyeballs? But you get an invisible mask. People are still wearing their masks. People ask me, Doc, where's your mask? I said, can't you see it? Oh yeah, that's right, mine's invisible. Mine covers all. Mine covers my mouth, my nose, and my eyes. A lot of people don't realize they rub their eyes. They don't have a mask over their eyes. They couldn't see. But you rub your eye and you can put you can get a virus or bacteria and it can get into your system that way too. You know that? Did you know that? Now, I don't want to get into the whole thing about your immune system taking care, but your immune system can't work properly without vitamin A, the invisible mask that vitamin A is essential for your immunity. It drives me crazy when the world doesn't talk about that. It's so stupid. We have answers right in front of us to build our immunity. You need that. Vitamin A. And let me just say something about vitamin D, because people say, well, you need vitamin D, Doc. Yeah, you certainly do. You know that. I'm big on that. Viderma. Now, why do the Inuit, okay, the ones that live up in the North Pole with Santa Claus, why do they How can they get vitamin D? Certainly not from the sun, where it's probably... I remember being in Frobisher Bay in March. Now, this is in the 1970s, guys. I flew up with Austin Airways in a goodwill gesture to play hockey at Frobisher Bay. You know what the temperature was? 70 below zero. In March, 70, minus 70. And the Inuit used to be called Eskimos. Like it was like springtime for them. Like I couldn't get over it. Like they said, oh, spring's coming. When? Like, it was crazy. But guys, all I'm saying is, how did they get vitamin D? They eat it. See, the problem with vitamin D, you've got to have it every day. Vitamin D is in steak, you know. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. It's in vitamin S. But you have to have it every day. That's the problem with eating vitamin D. You got to have it every day. Otherwise, you're not going to get enough. That's why, you know, the sun is the better source of it, obviously. Right? But if you can't get the sun, that's why you need a supplement of vitamin D. Most people do. And we all know about vitamin D, Viderma. It would have won a Nobel Prize in medicine if it had been a drug. That I guarantee you. Everybody and their dog would be taking vitamin D if it was a pharmaceutical. Follow the money. Oh, anyway. Vitamin A. Look, guys, I might have to do a 3-part series. I'm going on and on and on. I haven't finished the vitamins yet. Vitamin K2. Not K1, K2. K2 is found in the animal kingdom. It's not found in the plant kingdom. And I brought you lots of teaching about vitamin K2. Haven't I? That's why I love cheese. That's why I love butter. And that's why I love vitamin S, because it's got K2 in it. And K2 takes calcium and doesn't leave it in your arteries. It takes it and puts it in your teeth and your bones, where it belongs. See what God's done? He put it in nature for you to eat it. Okay. I'm going to finish up. I think I talked about all the vitamins. Oh, by the way, let me just say one thing. Okay? This is really important. Dr. Martin, if I only ate vitamin S steak, I would get scurvy. You know what scurvy is? Dr. Martin, you know what scurvy is? I've had people talk to me like that. You know what scurvy is? Yeah, I do. It's a lack of vitamin C, yeah? And I sit there and wait, and I said, so what's your point? Well, if I just eat steak, I ain't going to have any vitamin C. Well, that's not true. I'll bring you back to the Inuit. They don't have fruits. Okay? Go back 100 years. There's no way to get fruit up there. I mean, unless the Arctic, but what did they do? They didn't bring them fruits. Vitamin C is in steak. Yeah. It is? Yeah. It is. No, I'm not telling you not to eat berries or, I'm not saying that. You want to eat berries, go and have some berries. Not on the reset, but you can do it after. I like raspberries. I like strawberries. I love blueberries. Northern Ontario blueberries. Love those things. You got to mortgage your house to buy them in the summertime. Bears eat up to 30,000 blueberries a day. Did you know that? Yeah, when they're getting ready for winter, they have fructose so they can get fat. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. But you don't get scurvy when you eat vitamin S. Hello? Okay. Last point. Okay? Last point. All right? Amino acids, minerals, okay? Vitamins, okay? And now, lastly, let me finish with this, omega-3. Now, omega-3, I don't think there's anybody on the planet, even doctors, that would tell you that omega-3 isn't good for you, okay? Seriously. And if they do, well, change doctors, okay? I mean, omega-3 is essential. Every cell in your body needs it, okay? Every cell in your body needs it. Omega-3. Now, what your body, look, in steak, vitamin S, you got DHA, okay? DHA. In fish, you got DHA. You got EPA, DHA. Those are in the animal kingdom. Those are long-chain fatty acids, okay? And those are the most absorbable fatty acids. Now, in the plant kingdom, you have omega-3, but they're precursors. ALA. They're not long-chain, they're short-chain. And you can have all let's say, you know me, I love flax seeds, okay? I do. I love flax seeds. Why do I love flax seeds? Because of lignans and they block estrogen. Okay, so I love flax seeds. But you don't take flax seeds for omega-3, even though there's ALA in there. I'll tell you why. Because it never converts to DHA. Someone calls you fathead, take it as a compliment. Your brain needs DHA. Your heart needs DHA. Your blood vessels need DHA and EPA too, but DHA is the king of the castle. It's found in the animal kingdom only. Fish, steak. That's why steak's so good for you guys. You get DHA and EPA. Yippee-yay. Got it? Okay. You guys you put up with my shenanigans. I love that. Okay. Now, we can get into more detail, but I won't. What's tomorrow? Well, it's not Friday, but it's question and answer Thursday. Okay? For this week. Why? Friday is, I'm off. Okay? I'm off. So Friday will be Thursday. Tomorrow. Question. So send your questions in. Okay? We appreciate that. We thank you for your faithfulness. And share this, guys. Share it. Okay? Or get them to listen to the Doctors In podcast, which will probably, this one will be out sometimes next week. Okay, so, guys, I was excited there, and I'm out of breath. Not out of words, though. I never run out of words. That's what my wife tells me anyway. Okay, guys, we love you dearly, and I mean that. Talk to you soon.